Hello, welcome to another Monday of meditation. To all the occupiers of White City Place, thank you for being here and joining us. If you haven't done meditation with me before, I tend to focus on a topic surrounding meditation each week, and then we go through a guided meditation together. So yeah, I hope you're all doing okay and navigating this discombobulated time. Discombobulated is one of my favorite words. It's kind of a great one for right now when everything seems to be out of balance a little bit. And it's also this funny time where, some people are going back to work, some people aren't. Some people are doing this, some people are doing that. It's not, we don't really know what's going to happen next. And there's a feeling of hope that things are changing for the better. And you can feel that around London, certainly, that the vibe is picking up. And so that's a great, great thing. But really, change is the only constant, of course, we know that, right? But it's how you sit with change. There's a huge amount of acceptance involved with that. But also knowing that with change, change is moving. Change are things maybe changing out of your control. Whereas you can control how you react to change. How you react to not knowing what's going to happen. Also how you react to things that have happened that might not serve you in a way that you would like. And really a lot of that, the word that comes to mind is acceptance, accepting the situation. So I want to talk a little bit today about, and also meditate on, the idea of staying in the present, which is the whole point of meditation. But it's more than sitting on the mat. It's something that we have to take off the mat, i.e. when we're not meditating, and live it throughout our lives, especially at the moment when we are a little bit unsure of, not even being able to plan anything really with certainty. So it's good to know that your happiest state, and that's what I want to get a focus on, the happiest state, that's a nice thing to focus on, is when you are most present. So when you're in the present moment, that is when you are in your happiest state. And the reason for that is that we're not thinking about the past, i.e. we're not being attached to the stories of the past and being kind of dragged into what could possibly be a negative scenario, or it could be a positive, beautiful memory that can make us feel nice, but it can also prevent us from moving forward, and enjoying what's around us. We don't want to miss any moment. I mean, you ask somebody who's terminally ill, for example, if how they would value every minute of their day, and it would be to live that moment. They wouldn't be worried about the past or the future. They would be thinking about, okay, how can I make the best of what I have left? So it's a really good lesson to try not to ignore the passing moments when we're thinking about the future and thinking about the past. So when we're looking back at the past and hanging on to a positive thing which can make us feel nice, that's great. If it does have a good effect on you and also remind you maybe who you are, and you can maybe reflect on when you were successful, when things are going well, and just kind of embody that feeling, that's a really, really good thing. But when we look back at the past with too much nostalgia and too much, I wish it was, like that again now, or even just a past argument, it's not real. It's only your memory of it that's making it real. And so, yeah, it's the same with the future. When you're thinking about looking forward to something or dreading something, you're not living in the present moment. You're either causing anxiety around the situation, causing your stress reactors to flare up, or you could just be looking forward to something but wishing away your life, until you get to that. Like, going on holiday in a week, I can't wait. And then you kind of waste the next few days because you're not really focused. You just want to go on holiday, you've packed your bags mentally, and you just want to go. I get it. I do. But what if there was something just as interesting that was happening during the day that you haven't noticed? So there's many, many different ways we can look at this. And it can be on a grand scale, you could be, you could be, let me just think about this. You could be looking at something huge that just happens as you pass by. Something, I don't know, it could be something in the street, it could be somebody giving you a really kind smile, as they walk by, that you might not notice because you're busy looking down or on your phone or anything like that. And then there's the bigger stuff. There's the bigger stuff that can happen. It could be close to home. It could be a member of your family that's showing you something or giving you a gift of something or saying something really important that could change your life, but you're not really noticing, not really engaged. Thinking about something else. And I know this is a lot about kids who are constantly on the screen, and we worry about what they are missing out in their lives. And then it's right down to the small everyday things. So you walk through the park, and I don't know, if you're not looking around, you might pass somebody that you're meant to meet. You might pass a friend that would have been nice to say hi to. You might miss something so small that seems insignificant to you until you notice it, which might be a squirrel running up a tree. And then when you look at the tree and you follow the squirrel, you spot that there's a beautiful coloured parakeet up there, and that can fill you with some joy. Or it could be something like you're walking through, if you were, say, you love to go into the art gallery, you'd be walking through London, and just walking down the streets, and if you weren't looking, you might just miss a little poster that's advertising one of your favourite artists of an exhibition around here, for example. So it's really, it's also more than that. It's when you are looking at everything that you pass in the street, in your house, listening to conversations with a friend, like really, really listening and being there, being present, you're so liberated from your past and your future. It's an incredible place to be, and it takes practice, it takes work. It's not easy. It doesn't just kind of fall out of a tree and land in your lap. It does take practice. But just know that being in the present moment is your happiest state. And the other thing about happiness is that split into different ideas of happiness. Whether it's love, joy, or adrenaline, laughter. There's a few different states that categorize happiness, and the state that is the most health beneficial to you is the state of awe. So just as something off the mat to discover and to own and to try and bring into your life at least once a week, if not more regularly, it's the sense of awe. So just think about what gives you a sense of awe, whether it is a beautiful piece of art, or whether it's watching a David Attenborough Netflix documentary on something just incredibly beautiful, nature, or what else could it be? Listening to a great piece of music. Sometimes when you walk down the street, and this is what you're noticing, sometimes it might be a busker or even a homeless person playing beautifully, playing something really, really beautiful, but it's an instrument with a voice. It's like, oh wow, that's incredible. And it kind of makes your gives you goosebumps. That kind of feeling. Or it could be an activity like, if you're lucky enough to be away and you're snorkeling, and you can head onto the water and see another world. Or it could be just cycling down the street, and feeling the wind in your face and thinking, wow, I'm in the middle of London on a day. This is awesome, right? So think about the word awesome. How can I bring some awe, some word around, some awe, awesome, into my life? And that creates a happy state, but it's also really big health benefit. And why is that? The reason it's a health benefit is that it lowers one of your inflammatory responses, which is called the IL-6. Don't really need to remember that, but it's an inflammatory response in your body that gets lowered through the sense of awe. So it has a really big health benefit. So we've got to really practice on staying in the present moment. So this meditation is going to be about that. It's going to be about staying really, really present, and I'm going to be talking through it, guiding you, and trying to keep you with me in terms of what we're doing, leading you, so that you're fully engaged for the next, about 20, 25 minutes. So get comfy. You want to be comfortable enough for that time that you don't want to then be shuffling halfway through. It doesn't matter if you do, of course, you have to. But the key thing is make yourself comfortable. People often ask if they can lie down. Of course you can lie down. And there are no rules, by the way, and I can't even see you, so it doesn't really matter. But all I would say is that with lying down, there's a fine line between falling asleep and meditating, which you will come to realize the more that you meditate. You feel yourself going into a different zone. It's actually your brain waves that are changing when you go from meditation to sleep. It's okay, and often when you do fall asleep, well, A, it's good that you can relax, but B, you might rather need the extra sleep, so don't compare yourself. But there is a solution, and it is basically don't lie down. So if you really don't want to, if you do want to fall asleep, lie down, enjoy this, and then just fall asleep in your own time. But if you're doing it to try and stay in your meditation and really hone your meditation skills, then sit up. But if you can't have a straight spine, so if you find that sitting up straight compromises other parts of your body and it's not really, really comfortable, then support your back. But maybe in a kind of a chair, it doesn't matter if you kind of lean back. It could even be on the sofa, actually, as long as it's just not too sinky. You don't have to sink into the sofa where your back expands and your chest contracts, because that way you can't breathe properly. You're not going to get enough breath into your lungs. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So that's the idea of sitting up. This is why yogis sit cross-legged, because it's much more easy for the spine to be really nice and elongated. You can get that in the chair. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed right now, with a little table which helps me with my laptop. But if you don't need to be looking at your laptop, if you don't want your eyes closed anyway, you could just sit on the floor with your back against the sofa. You don't need to see anything, just as long as you're comfortable. You're over on the comfort zone. So let's just do the next thing and close our eyes. Really how your body feels right now with your eyes closed. So notice, does it feel comfortable? Is there anything you need to change in the way that you're sitting? And without changing it, come to your breath and just notice that. Just notice. So all the time I was talking, you just would have been breathing without thinking about it. I want you to continue that, but just this time observe. Just notice how you're breathing without any control over it. So you can do that by noticing the breath coming in and out, or either your nose or mouth. I always recommend breathing through the nose if you can. If you're blocked, please don't worry about it. The nose is better. You can breathe in and out of that. Or if it's too hard to do both, you could maybe breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Experiment, do what feels okay for you. And you can notice whether your breaths are long or short. Whether they are even-sided, so whether you're breathing in the same amount of time as you're breathing out, or not. There are no rules, there is no right, there is no wrong. It's just you. And maybe notice if your belly moves slightly on the in-breath. Or maybe if it's not your belly, it might just be the rib cage. It's expanding in the in-breath. And now we take your attention to the heels of your feet. And I'm going to start with your right foot. And every time I mention a part of your body, I want you to see if you can soften it a little bit more. Or if it's one of those places that feels like it's difficult to soften, like your heel, then just bring your attention to it and just see that if you can feel where it is from the inside. So without kind of touching it from the outside, just getting a sense of where it is, whether it's on the floor or tucked in underneath your thighs or against, a chair or sofa, wherever it is, doesn't really matter, but just feeling it from the inside. So I'll guide you through that. So starting off with your right heel, just bringing your attention there. Get a sense of feeling it from the inside. Then moving to the middle arch of your foot. To your to your right big toe. Your right big toe. The second toe. Middle toe. The fourth toe. And your little toe. Into your right ankle. Softening into the ankle, easing there. And then the right calf, just feeling that muscle soften. The right shin bone, the skin over the shin bone, leading up to the muscles underneath the knee. So bringing your attention to your right knee, above the knee, below the knee, behind the knee, getting a sense of inside the kneecap, softening all the little tendons and ligaments there, just letting go. Your right thigh, your right hip, your sitting bones, all the gravity pulling on your sitting bones, keeping you in place in your chair or the. And taking your attention to the left heel, middle arch of your left foot, your left big toe, second toe, middle toe, fourth toe, little toe, your left ankle, easing there, your left calf,